This is Dino Dan, and the plan is to have a different dinosaur on every vehicle in the fleet. So eventually when we have 20 cars, 20 trucks, 20 vans, whatever it is, you got 20 different, hopefully, breeds of dinosaur. And then that vehicle will be named based off the breed that it is. My name is Evan Cope. I own EDC Productions, LLC, a Vermont-based small business specializing in audio, lighting, and production management services. We deal primarily in audio, lighting, and production services such as site coordination, production management, stage management, and services along those lines. It originally started out as my initials, and now it stands for our motto, which is entertainment done correctly. Being in college while owning a business is weird. It's not something you want to talk about much, to be honest, when you're somebody like me, because I don't want other students in the class, one, to think that that I'm trying to one-up them or anything like that, and I never am. I started EDC Productions out of a pure necessity. I had gotten myself into theatrical audio, which was unexpected, and with a company that I loved and people that I loved, but I had to figure out a way to get paid. And when you start picking up more and more clients, I was starting to do home installations and car installations and recommendations. And when you do all that, it's very hard to say, write a check to me personally, because people want to see that you have the backing of some sort of business. It's fine if you're doing 3 or 4 people, but when you start to get to 10 and 15, and when you're trying to do bigger and bigger shows, they don't want you to be a person. They want you to be a company.
Tad from Solar Beats and Gobi Project here at Wavefront Music Festival at Montrose Beach in Chicago. If you're not here, you know, better luck next time. Get your tickets for next year.
We are the only company that does solar-powered audio, lighting, and production management. So the entire solar network kind of comes to us and the company that we've teamed up with. We took a home solar-powered system, stuck it on a FedEx truck with the side cut off, and created it into a stage, and it performed very, very well. I mean, we were the 5th stage. So we held artists and we ran for 3 days straight with 0 issues without taking up any power at all. Show days are great days for me, depending on if it's a 1-day show or if you have 5 days to load in and get it all set up. This is where we keep new gear that either has to get tagged with EDC barcodes or has to be repaired or just came back from a show. Really any gear that doesn't have a permanent place to live at a warehouse or in a road case. A typical business day that's not a actual show day is a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. For example, yesterday I was on the phone for 3.5 hours with 4 clients just getting their events ready and dealing with quotes and pricing for them. And those are the days that honestly I hate. Well, I don't have anyone available right now because all of our crews are out in Milwaukee at the wedding. John, see, the price is what's going to be the difficult. I think we're going to have a hard time finding a lighting designer or even a board op for that matter at that price.
Yeah.
Call Phil, see what Phil says about it and how he wants you to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I get a reputation for always being on the phone and always around my phone. Yeah, I leave class all the time for work. I cannot tell you how many classes I've missed. I mean, last semester I probably went to work more often than I went to class. So yeah, I mean, there are plenty of times where I'll get a call from a client and up and leave from class to take the call from the client, talk to them for 20 minutes and go back in class and continue class. You kind of got to maintain how many classes you miss while still being able to pass. I'm not in college to get a 4.0 GPA and graduate with honors. I'm just not. I'm here for the degree and that's about it. The amount of time that I put into the company takes away from time everywhere else. That can be said about any job, any relationship, anything at all. I'm very lucky that the girl that I'm dating happens to be in this industry and understands it. She also happens to work for the company, which were 2 very unrelated incidents. And because of that, it's made things a lot easier.
Aw.
It's a little late to get flowers, buddy.
No, it's not. What if he has a date tonight? It's not too late. It's never too late.
Are you putting something out there? I'm thinking constantly, how could I change my business? How could I make my staff happier? How could I make my clients happier? Should I be in the warehouse that I'm in? If I move warehouses, what do I have to do? What is that going to cost? Should I buy a vehicle? Not buy a vehicle? There's so many things that are constantly changing. It's a lot to think about, and eventually you just kind of get tired. Oh yeah, I'm just ready to be done college. So ready to be graduated. Now this semester I'm doing the least amount of work I've ever done before, which is very weird for me. I used to work 60 to 90 hour weeks, and now I'm working 40 to 60 hour weeks. So you have to learn to take time, and I think that's true in any industry you're in, with any person, any job. You need to learn to just take time and relax and not think for a minute. And that's not easy to do, especially for me.
I don't like sitting in traffic at all. Traffic is a waste of my time. And yours, for that matter.
I like to take walks and go to the park. I'm very lucky where I live. I can walk to the planetarium during the summer. I try to take a walk every night to go to the planetarium and just kind of relax, debrief for a minute of myself and figure out, now that I'm not thinking for a minute, is there something I need to change? Or, you can get caught up in work and not realize you're unhappy, or not realize that you've forgotten to do something, like pay a bill or, car insurance or whatever it is. You can forget to do something that normally in a 9-to-5 job you wouldn't forget, because you have that extra time to think. My goals when I graduate are to really put the time and effort into things that I wanted to be doing. To finally get away from school and take everything that I've learned and figure out how to put it in what I want to do. And one of the things that we're looking and working into now is a transformational festival, something that is supported by EDC Productions and 2 other companies that we work closely with in creating the ideal transformational festival. And for me, that is the long-term goal, is that I want to have a series of festivals that I manage and my company supports. So that would be the main thing in 2 to 3 years, that we would have our first festival up and running and have that being a consistent annual thing. Long-term goals would be to have EDC Productions be one of the top 2 or 3 production companies in the country. Right now there are 3 to 5 major production companies in the country. I want EDC to be one of those, and preferably the top one, or the second to top one. Something that really, when you need it for a tour, you come to EDC Productions, because we provide entertainment the way that you want it, and specifically for your event. Everything is custom done. We work it to your event, not to necessarily your budget. It's a combination of both in my mind. Figuring out how do you get the ideal budget with the ideal look and have it work for you.
Try your best, try everything you can. Don't you worry about those bitter hearts. Gonna say